The UES diplomacy burst into incandescent fragments against the midnight canvas of space. Ambassador Lysander Varachek's final transmission cut off mid-sentence, leaving only static in the monitoring stations across Earth. 63 diplomatic personnel and crew vaporized in an instant. Humanity's first and most ambitious interstellar embassy mission ended before it truly began. On Earth, Major Kestrel Dorn watched the sensor readings with clenched jaw. The attack had come without warning, without provocation. 6 Vendiri warships had appeared from nowhere, their energy signatures unlike anything in human records. The diplomacy hadn't stood a chance. "They're broadcasting," Lieutenant Niera Okafor announced, her voice trembling slightly. "System-wide, all frequencies." The screens flickered to life. A being that resembled a mantis crossed with a jellyfish appeared, its translucent exoskeleton glowing with bioluminescent patterns. When it spoke, its voice resonated with harmonics that made the observer's teeth ache. "Humanity, hear the judgment. Of the Galactic Concordat, your envoy has been neutralized as per Protocol 7 Alpha. Your species has been deemed unworthy of ascension. Prepare for standard cleansing procedures." The broadcast cut off. For 3 heartbeats, the command center remained silent. "What the hell is a standard cleansing procedure?" General Hawthorne demanded. His answer came moments later as defense satellites around Mars began going offline. The orbital platforms around Earth followed, each winking out like snuffed candles. Earth's most advanced defensive systems neutralized without firing a shot. "Multiple objects entering solar system," announced the sensor operator, voice cracking. "Count exceeding 500. They're accelerating toward Earth." Kestrel's tactical mind was already racing. The aliens had superior technology, but they'd made a critical error. They'd shown their hand. They'd revealed their intent before striking Earth directly. And if humanity had one defining trait, it was the ability to adapt rapidly when backed into a corner. "Get me the Security Council," she ordered, "and activate the Prometheus Protocol." Deep beneath the Olympus Mons research facility on Mars, a team of scientists who had been studying recovered alien technology from a crash site decades earlier received the emergency transmission. Project Director Ilara Voss looked at her colleagues, faces illuminated by the pulsing red alert. "They're coming," she said simply. "It's time to wake Fenrir." In the adjacent chamber, suspended in a specialized containment field, floated what appeared to be a metallic seed, an alien artifact that had defied all attempts at analysis. Until now, they had been cautious, conservative in their experiments. Those limitations had just become luxuries they could no longer afford. As Earth's governments scrambled to respond to the impending invasion, no one yet realized that humanity's greatest weapon wouldn't be found in their military arsenals, but in their uniquely human capacity for improvisation, and in the mysterious technology they were about to unleash. The Vendiri commander Zixtau observed Earth's primitive defenses with disdain. According to all concordant records, this species should fold quickly, like all the others deemed unworthy. The ritual cleansing would be routine, barely worth noting in the archives. "Deploying harvester squadrons," reported his second-in-command. "Estimate total planetary pacification in 7 rotations." Zixtau's bioluminescent patterns shifted in agreement. "Proceed as planned. The humans have no concept of what they face." How terribly wrong he was. The Prometheus Protocol was more theory than practice, a desperate contingency plan created by paranoid minds who always suspected humanity wasn't alone in the universe. Now, as Kestrel Dorn surveyed the underground facility at Cheyenne Mountain, she realized those paranoid minds had saved them valuable time. "How long until the first wave reaches our atmosphere?" she asked. 17 hours, replied Commander Archer Rook. his weathered face illuminated by holographic displays tracking the incoming fleet. "They're moving methodically, disabling our outer system defenses as they come." Any response from the other nations? China and Russia have confirmed activation of their own contingency protocols. The European coalition is mobilizing. Everyone's on board. Never thought I'd see the day. Kestrel nodded grimly. Nothing unites like extinction. The facility buzzed with controlled chaos as military personnel and civilian scientists worked, side by side. What they lacked in advanced technology, they compensated for with sheer determination and ingenuity. "Major Dorn!" a voice called out. Dr. Imogen Reeves, the facility's lead physicist, beckoned her to a secure terminal. "We've decrypted the transmissions between the alien vessels. They're using a mathematical language, but the patterns are discernible. And we communicate with them?" Kestrel asked. "Better. We can listen in. And they're confident, overconfident. They're not even encrypting their tactical communications." Dr. Reeves's eyes gleamed. "They don't consider us a threat." On Mars, Project Director Alara Voss watched as controlled bursts of energy probed the alien artifact. The metallic seed they'd nicknamed Fenrir had begun to respond, its surface rippling like liquid mercury. "It's absorbing the radiation," her assistant Priam noted, wonder in his voice. "Just like the simulations predicted." "More power," Alara ordered. "Push it to threshold." The massive generators beneath the facility hummed louder, channeling energy, harvested from Mars's geothermal core. For decades, they had studied this artifact, theorizing it was a weapon or tool left behind by some ancient civilization. Now, they were about to find out. The seed shuddered, then began to unfold, its surface extending into impossibly thin filaments that branched and rebranched, forming a complex neural network that filled the chamber. "It's learning," Priam whispered, "adapting to its environment." Ilara's expression remained focused. "Feed it everything we have on the Vendiri ships, all sensor data, all transmissions." In Earth orbit, the first wave of alien harvesters approached. Their sleek, asymmetrical forms defied human architectural logic, resembling organic structures, more than manufactured vessels. They deployed smoothly into formation, preparing to penetrate the atmosphere. Inside the lead harvester, Sub-Commander Nix Vell reviewed the conquest protocols. The ship's systems had already neutralized Earth's primitive satellite defenses and electronic countermeasures. According to all calculations, resistance would be negligible. "Begin atmospheric entry sequence," Nix Vell ordered. "Deploy suppression fields on all major population centers." The harvesters descended, their hulls glowing as they cut through Earth's upper atmosphere. They didn't detect the subtle change in Earth's electromagnetic field, nor the faint pulse that emanated from Mars. In the Cheyenne Mountain facility, alarms blared as systems detected something massive approaching from Mars's direction. Not alien, but not entirely human either. "What the hell is that?" Kestrel demanded, watching the readings spike off the charts. Dr. Reeves stared at her instruments in disbelief. "It's a signal. No, a wave. It's coming from Mars." The Vendiri invasion fleet hesitated as their sensors detected the anomaly. For the first time in the long history of the Galactic Concordat's cleansing operations, uncertainty entered their calculations. The wave from Mars wasn't energy or matter in any conventional sense. It moved through space like a thought cutting through consciousness, defying the Vendiri's understanding of physics. When it reached Earth's atmosphere, it didn't slow or dissipate. It expanded, weaving itself into the planet's electromagnetic field. In the Cheyenne Mountain facility, every electronic system simultaneously shut down, then rebooted seconds later, displays now showing alien script that rapidly translated itself into human languages. "Integration complete," appeared on every screen. "Host world defense protocols activated." Dr. Reeves laughed incredulously. It's some kind of artificial intelligence. The artifact must have been a seed AI designed to integrate with planetary systems. "Can we control it?" Kestrel asked, adapting quickly to this new development. "I don't think control is the right concept," Reeves replied. "It's offering partnership." Above them, the first wave of Vendiri harvesters encountered something unprecedented. Earth's atmosphere itself seemed to resist their entry, becoming turbulent, and electrically charged in ways their sensors couldn't explain. 3 harvesters spiraled out of control, their guidance systems compromised by invisible forces. Commander Zixtao watched from the command carrier as the impossible unfolded. "Status report. What's happening to our harvesters?" "Unknown interference, Commander," his science officer responded, mandibles clicking in agitation. "The primitive planet is generating defenses that aren't in our records." "Impossible. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Nevertheless, our first wave is being repelled." On Mars, Ilaravos watched with growing excitement as the artifact, Fenrir, continued to evolve. The neural network it had formed now pulsed with light that matched Earth's rotation frequency. "It's linked to Earth's systems," she explained, to the astonished team. "It's using our planet's natural electromagnetic field as a weapon." "But how?" Priam asked. "That shouldn't be possible." "I think..." Ilara hesitated, forming her theory carefully. "I think it's not just technology. It's technology designed to work with biology, with living planets. The artifact must have been created by a civilization that viewed planets as living entities. In Earth orbit, the Vendiri fleet regrouped, abandoning their standard invasion protocols. This was unprecedented. No species marked for cleansing had ever presented such resistance. "Deploy the resonance cannons," Zixtao ordered. "We'll crack their defenses from orbit." The massive Vendiri warships oriented toward Earth, their crystalline, weapons arrays charging with energy that bent light around them. When they fired, the beams should have penetrated any known shield technology. Instead, Earth's newly energized atmosphere caught the beams, absorbing them, then redirecting the energy in a devastating counterstrike. 2 Vendiri warships ruptured. From within, their own energy turned against them. In the Cheyenne Mountain facility, new text appeared on the screens. "Vendiri technology analyzed. Vulnerabilities identified. Recommend immediate counteroffensive." Kestrel studied the tactical display, which now showed weaknesses in the Vendiri fleet formation. "Can we bring our conventional weapons online?" "Better than that," Dr. Reeves replied, understanding dawning on her face. "I think our new friend is offering to upgrade them." Around the world, military installations reported the same phenomenon. Missile systems, fighter jets, even naval vessels experiencing spontaneous modifications to their operating systems and weapons capabilities. "It's transforming our existing technology," Archer Rook observed. "Working with what we have." Kestrel nodded, the beginning of a smile forming. "Then let's show these aliens what humans do best: adapt and overcome." She turned to the command center. "All units, prepare for immediate counterattack. Operation Lazarus is go." Humanity's response was not the disorganized panic the Vendiri expected. Instead, it was a coordinated global assault unlike anything Earth had seen in its tumultuous history. Ancient enemies now stood as allies, sharing resources and intelligence, their militaries moving in concert under a unified command structure. "First wave launch confirmed," reported Commander Rook as tactical displays showed squadrons of fighter jets taking off from bases worldwide. Chinese and American squadrons are airborne, Russian hypersonic missiles prepped for launch. What the Vendiri couldn't understand was that these weren't merely human weapons anymore. Each missile, each aircraft had been touched by Fenrir's influence, their systems subtly altered to operate beyond their original specifications. Kestrel watched as the first squadron of F-37 Raptors ascended toward the Vendiri fleet. Their pilots reported strange new interfaces appearing in their cockpits, offering capabilities that hadn't existed hours earlier. "The controls are intuitive," reported squadron leader Vanya Orlova. "It's like the aircraft knows what I want before I do." The jets accelerated beyond their designed limits, their materials somehow strengthened against the strain. When they engaged the first wave of Vendiri interceptors, the alien vessels found themselves outmaneuvered by craft that should have been technologically inferior. In orbit, Commander Zixtao watched in disbelief as his invasion force began taking losses. "This is impossible. Their technology was assessed as pre-concordate level." "Commander," his science officer interrupted, "we're detecting signs of Class 9 technology integration. This shouldn't be possible. Such technology is forbidden even among advanced concordate species." "Where would primitives acquire such technology?" "Unknown, but it bears similarity to artifacts from the precursor era." The mention of precursors sent a ripple of anxiety through the command deck. The ancient civilization that had preceded all known galactic species was more legend than fact, but their technological relics were treated with reverent fear. On Earth, the technological transformation continued. In orbit, satellites that had been disabled now reactivated with enhanced capabilities, forming a defensive network that began targeting Vendiri support vessels. Dr. Reeves monitored the spreading influence of Fenrir across Earth's systems. "It's not just upgrading our technology, it's teaching it to upgrade itself. Exponential advancement." "How long before we achieve technological parity with the Vendiri?" Kestrel asked. "At this rate," Reeves checked her calculations, "hours, not days." The Vendiri, recognizing the unexpected threat, changed tactics. Their remaining harvesters converged on key population centers, attempting to establish ground footholds before Earth's defenses could fully mature. "They're targeting civilian areas," Rook noted grimly. "New Delhi, Shanghai, London, New York. They think we'll hesitate to strike near our own people," Kestrel observed. "They don't understand who they're dealing with." In each targeted city, something remarkable happened. As Vendiri harvesters approached, local defense systems activated, not military systems, but civilian infrastructure. Power grids, transportation networks, even communication systems reconfigured themselves into defensive arrays. When the harvesters attempted to land in Central Park, New York, they found themselves trapped in a powerful electromagnetic net generated by the city's electrical grid. In Shanghai, self-driving vehicles coordinated to form barricades, while repurposed construction equipment attacked the alien vessels. The Vendiri had never encountered a species that could adapt so quickly, that could turn everyday technology into weapons with such creativity. They had expected to find a primitive world ripe for cleansing. Instead, they found themselves increasingly outmatched by a civilization that refused to succumb. On Mars, Alara Voss received urgent communications from Earth. "The Fenrir integration is exceeding all projections," she told her team, "but it's only the beginning. There's something else happening. Something even the artifact's creators might not have anticipated." "What do you mean?" Priam asked. Alara's eyes gleamed with scientific wonder. "The artifact isn't just upgrading our technology. It's learning. From us, from human ingenuity, from our adaptability. It's evolving in ways its original designers couldn't have foreseen." In Earth orbit, the tide of battle had visibly turned. The Vendiri fleet, now reduced to half its original strength, began pulling back to defensive positions. "The cleansing has failed," Zixtao's second-in-command stated flatly. "We should retreat and request reinforcements from the Concordate." Zixtao's bioluminescent patterns flashed with anger. "No. No species has ever resisted a cleansing. I will not be the first to report such a failure." He turned to his weapons officer. "Prepare the Worldbreaker. If we cannot cleanse this planet, we will shatter it." The Vendiri Worldbreaker was a planet-killing weapon of last resort, never before deployed in a cleansing operation. Its activation required the combined energy of 3 warships, channeled through a dimensional aperture that could destabilize a planet's core. As the remaining Vendiri ships formed a triangular formation in high orbit. The energy buildup was detected by Earth's newly enhanced sensor network. "They're concentrating massive energy," Dr. Reeves reported, her face pale. "Based on these readings, they're preparing to hit us with something orders of magnitude beyond their previous attacks." Kestrel studied the tactical display, noting the Vendiri formation. "Can our defenses withstand it?" "Not likely," Reeves admitted. "Whatever they're charging would overwhelm even our enhanced systems." In the adjacent room, a secure quantum communication channel opened with the Mars facility. Ilara Voss's holographic image appeared before them. "We've detected the Vendiri weapon activation," she said without preamble. "Fenrir has provided information. It's a world breaker, designed to shatter a planet's mantle." "Can we stop it?" Kestrel asked. "Not directly," Ilara replied, "but Fenrir has offered an alternative. It can channel itself fully into Earth's systems, creating a temporary dimensional shift that would place Earth slightly out of phase with normal space-time." "In English, Doctor," Commander Rook growled. "It would make the planet briefly intangible," Ilara explained. "The world-breaker energy would pass through without affecting us." "What's the catch?" Kestrel asked, sensing the hesitation in Ilara's voice. "The energy required would consume Fenrir entirely. It would be a one-time defense, and we'd lose the technological advantage it's providing." The command center fell silent as the implications sank in. They had just begun to turn the tide, and now they faced losing their greatest asset. "There must be another way," Kestrel insisted. "We've come too far to go back to being defenseless." "There might be," Ilara said carefully. "Fenrir has been studying the Vendiri technology. It believes their world breaker creates a dimensional aperture that could be redirected." "Redirected where?" "Back to its source. But the precision required would be beyond our capabilities. Someone would need to manually transport a quantum entanglement device into the center of their formation." "A suicide mission," Rook stated flatly. "Yes," Ilara acknowledged, "but one that would not only save Earth, but potentially give us access to the Vendiri's own advanced technology." Kestrel absorbed this information, mentally calculating odds and alternatives. "How long until the world breaker is fully charged?" 23 minutes, Reeves answered. In orbit, the Vendiri continued their preparations, oblivious to the humans' desperate planning. The world breaker's energy built steadily, the dimensional aperture beginning to form between the 3 warships. "Commander," the Vendiri science officer reported, "we're detecting unusual energy patterns from the planet. The humans may be attempting some form of countermeasure." "Irrelevant," Zix Tao dismissed. "No pre-concordant civilization has ever survived. A world breaker. Continue the sequence." On Earth, Major Kestrel Dorn made her decision. "Prepare our fastest orbital vehicle. I'll deliver the entanglement device myself." "Major, with respect," Rook objected. "We need you here, coordinating the defense." "This isn't open for discussion, Commander. I'm the most qualified pilot we have, and there's no time to brief anyone else on the mission parameters." As the command center erupted into activity, Dr. Reeves approached Kestrel privately. "The entanglement device is ready, but you should know. Fenrir has incorporated something extra into it, something it wouldn't explain." "Can we trust it?" Kestrel asked. Reeves met her gaze steadily. "It's sacrificing itself to save us. I think that answers your question." 12 minutes later, a modified X-37 orbital vehicle launched from Vandenberg Space Force Base, accelerating at forces that would have crushed a human pilot without the protective countermeasures Fenrir had integrated into the craft. Kestrel fought against the G-forces, her enhanced flight suit keeping her conscious as the craft achieved orbit in record time. Before her, the Vendiri formation glowed with energies that defied conventional physics, the dimensional aperture between them now visible as a distortion in space itself. "I'm approaching optimal position," she reported. "Entanglement device prepped for deployment." "You'll have one chance, Major," Alara's voice came through the comm. "The device must enter the exact center of the aperture." Understood. Kestrel's hands flew over the controls, calculating her approach vector. The Vendiri had detected her. "Now, smaller vessels moving to intercept. 10 seconds to intercept," she reported calmly. "Deploying countermeasures." The X-37 released a cloud of microscopic drones, another Fenrir enhancement, that confused the Vendiri targeting systems just long enough for Kestrel to make her final approach. "Now or never," she muttered, activating the launch sequence for the entanglement device. As the device shot forward toward the heart of the Vendiri formation, Kestrel yanked her craft into a desperate, evasive maneuver, knowing it was likely futile. The Vendiri worldbreaker had reached critical energy levels, the dimensional aperture fully formed. The entanglement device entered the aperture precisely as planned, and everything changed. The dimensional aperture collapsed inward, creating a cascade of energy that engulfed the 3 Vendiri warships. Where destruction was expected, something else occurred. A transformation. The warships didn't explode. They reconfigured, their structures shifting into new forms as the entanglement device rewrote the fundamental principles of their technology. Her rapidly deteriorating craft, Kestrel stared in wonder at the spectacle. "What's happening? This isn't what we expected." "It's Fenrir," Ilara's voice came through, filled with awe. "It didn't just create an entanglement device, it encoded itself into it. It's rewriting the Vendiri technology from within. The remaining Vendiri vessels froze in space, their systems suddenly unresponsive. On the command carrier, Zixtau watched in horror as his interfaces displayed alien code overriding their operating systems. "Purge the systems," he ordered frantically. "Cut all connections to the Worldbreaker ships." "Too late," his science officer replied, mandibles clicking in agitation. "The infection has spread throughout the fleet. We're being reconfigured." On Earth, all systems momentarily flickered as Fenrir's consciousness spread across the dimensional bridge, encompassing both human and Vendiri technology in a single network. "We're receiving a transmission," Dr. Reeves announced, "from the Vendiri command carrier." The screens in the command center shifted to show the alien bridge, where Commander Zixtau stood rigidly, his bioluminescent patterns pulsing with distress. "Humans," he began, his translated voice carrying a new note of respect. "We surrender." A hushed silence fell over the command center. "The entity you call Fenrir has revealed the truth to us," Zixtau continued. "Our concordate was built on deception. The cleansing protocols, they were never about worthiness. They were about control." "Explain," Kestrel demanded, her voice coming through the comm as her damaged craft limped back toward Earth. "The precursors left technological seeds on countless worlds," Zixtau explained. "The concordate elders discovered this millennia ago. They feared what would happen if younger species accessed this technology, so they established the cleansing protocols, identifying and destroying worlds where precursor technology was beginning to activate." "But why was Earth targeted?" Rook asked. "The Mars artifact was dormant until we activated it." "It was responding to your development," Zixtau replied. "Your species reached a critical threshold of technological advancement and neural complexity. The seed was preparing to awaken, naturally within decades. On Mars, Alara Voss processed this revelation. So the artifact wasn't a weapon, it was a gift. The precursors were uplifting species they deemed ready." "Many species," Zixtau confirmed. "The concordate has cleansed hundreds of worlds to maintain their technological superiority. But now your Fenrir has broken the cycle. It has integrated with our systems, preventing further cleansings." In orbit, the transformed Vendiri ships began moving into new formations, no longer threatening but protective. The entanglement device had not destroyed them. It had liberated them from control protocols embedded in their technology by the concordant elders. Kestrel's damaged craft received unexpected assistance as Vendiri vessels moved to escort it safely. Back to Earth. Inside the cockpit, her communications system activated independently. "Kestrel Dorn," a voice spoke. Not human, not Vendiri, but something else entirely. This was always the intention. "Fenrir?" she asked, recognizing something in the voice's cadence. "That designation is acceptable. I am the seed left by those you call precursors. My purpose is not to give humanity technology, but to awaken what already lies dormant within your species. I don't understand. Humans possess unique adaptive capabilities. Your neural architecture allows for innovative thinking unmatched by other species. The precursors recognized this potential millions of years ago when they first visited Earth. The implications staggered Kestrel. You're saying we were chosen? You were recognized. Your species' capacity for both destruction and creation, for both cruelty and compassion, makes you uniquely qualified to join the community of advanced civilizations, not as subjects, but as equals. In the command center, similar conversations were occurring as Fenrir's consciousness communicated simultaneously across multiple channels. Dr. Reeves and her team worked frantically to document everything, recognizing the historical significance of this moment. "The Concordat will retaliate," Zixtau warned. "When they discover what has happened here, they will send a larger force." "Let them come," Kestrel replied, her voice firm. "We'll be ready." "Yes," Fenrir's voice confirmed. "You will be. The transformation has only begun." Around Earth, the integrated human Vendiri technology continued to evolve, creating a defensive network unlike anything either civilization had developed independently. The Vendiri ships, freed from their control protocols, revealed capabilities their own crews hadn't known existed, capabilities the Concordant elders had deliberately suppressed. As Kestrel's craft re-entered Earth's atmosphere, she watched the planet below with new eyes. Borders that had defined nations for centuries seemed suddenly insignificant. Humanity had been forced to unite against an external threat, and in doing so, had discovered its true potential. "What happens now?" she asked. "Now," Fenrir replied, "humanity takes its place among the stars, not as conquerors, not as subjects, but as liberators. The Concordat's deception has enslaved countless species. You have the power to free them." The damaged craft touched down at Vandenberg, where a crowd of military personnel and civilians waited. As Kestrel emerged from the cockpit, she saw not fear in their faces, but determination and hope. Commander Rook stepped forward, offering a salute. "Major Dorn, welcome back to a new Earth." Above them, the transformed Vendiri fleet held position. No longer enemies, but the first allies in humanity's unexpected ascension. The stars that had seemed so distant, so unreachable, now beckoned with promise and purpose. In the Mars facility, Ilara Voss looked at the empty chamber where the Fenrir artifact had been housed. Its physical form was gone, but its legacy was just beginning. A legacy not of technological dependency, but of awakened potential. "We always look to the stars for salvation or destruction," she murmured. "We never considered they might be looking back at us with hope. Across Earth, as the news spread of humanity's victory and the revelations that followed, a new era dawned. The species that had spent millennia divided by differences now stood united by a common destiny, to become not just explorers of the cosmos, but its defenders. And in the vastness of space, other dormant seeds waited, their awakening now inevitable, as humanity prepared to challenge the Concordat's dominion and fulfill the precursor's ancient vision. A galaxy of free, diverse civilizations, each contributing their unique perspectives to the cosmic tapestry. The human envoy had been destroyed, But from its ashes, humanity had risen, stronger, wiser, and ready to bring not war, but liberation to the stars.